Aloha friends and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on how I clean my house. To begin my cleaning process, I always end up in the living room first. I tend to find it to be the messiest. I left Ayla with this sensory bin for a total of about 30 minutes and she somehow managed to get every single noodle out of the box. I always have some kind of project like this in the living room, so for me, I like to work on the living room first, and it allows me to have a nice break in between when I finish the rest of the house. I then grab a box from Ayla's playroom, and I fill it with unnecessary things that do not belong in that room. So I am going and picking up every single item in that room that doesn't belong there. I find this process very easy because then I go around and begin emptying the box by delivering each item to its appropriate home or designated room. I don't always organize it when I drop it off. I just get the items that need to be in their designated spot, and then I go through each part of the room, organizing and really cleaning it up. So for now, I'm just dropping off everything in the box that I found in the living room to its appropriate place. Then I go ahead and straighten up and sweep. I sweep about 2 to 3 times a day. I have hardwood floors and they tend to get very messy quick. Being pregnant, I tend to take lots of breaks. So a quick water break for me and I'm good to go. I then begin picking up the rest of the living room, straightening out what needs to be straightened out, folding the blankets, organizing the pillows, and lastly, I end with a vacuum. I like to vacuum about 3 times a week. I only have this carpet, well, including my bedroom, but it's very easy for me and it can tend to get very dirty very quick with a toddler. I then move to the next room in my house, which is the dining room, and I repeat the process. I fill this lovely bucket with items that do not belong in that room. I find this way so easy as I have so much random things in each room. Picking up some things on the way, I deliver each item to its designated spot until the bucket is empty and everything is in their appropriate home or room. I then go and straighten up that room after I get everything that doesn't belong in it. A lot of random items end up in this room, like Ayla's new Valentine's Day outfit that I just got for her at Old Navy. This table is what I would like to call the drop-off table of when I come home from being out. I tend to throw miscellaneous things on this table, hoping to deal with it later. This is also our designated spot where I leave my purse and Keikoa leaves his backpack. I then begin sweeping. This is another room that I sweep about 2 to 3 times a day, as this is where we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and there tends to be a lot of food droppings on the ground, so I am constantly sweeping. I then am going to empty the rest of this bucket, and that shall complete the dining room. This is a perfect example of some Valentine's Day props that I had picked up at Target, and once again threw it on the dining room table, hoping to deal with it later. That concludes my help of the bucket. I will leave it in Ayla's room, and I will deal with this room later. I see that I like to work in a circle, so that brings me to my next room, and that is the kitchen, the hardest part for me. So to begin my kitchen, I always do it like this. I clean and clear the counters first. I repeat, clean and clear the counters first. So throwing all the dishes in the sink and just putting everything back to where it belongs, whether it's food in the cabinet or straightening up things in their appropriate places. Next, I clean the counters. I don't always take everything off, but as you guys can see, this time it needed to be done. There was lots of food everywhere, so I begin scrubbing it with just soap and my sponge, and then go over it with a hot rag. And I like to go over it twice, making sure all food and soap is completely off, leaving my counters sparkling clean. Putting everything back in their homes, I then begin cleaning the rest of the counter. Using a wire brush on the tough, stuck food, and of course finishing off with a hot rag. This to me is the most important counter. As we eat off of it, I clean this counter about 2 to 3 times a day, sometimes even more. So now that the dining room is officially complete and the counters in the kitchen, I can then begin doing the dishes. Yay, dishes. I have quite a small rack, so I always have to make sure that it is empty before I start the dishes. As you can see, I have a lot of dishes this time, but I like to catch up on them as soon as I'm done eating, so the buildup is not this bad, as it is very hard to get all of those dishes to fit on the rack. So having an empty rack is very important and crucial for me to start the dishes process. This takes me about 30 minutes, and that is why I like to save it for last, as it is the most time consuming for me, because knowing me, after I do the dishes, I am exhausted. When I started this process, I threw in a load, so I am now going to transfer the load from the washer to the dryer and begin a new load, as this mama has lots and lots of laundry. Thanks to my wonderful little helper. She is quite the little helper and loves to help mama do the laundry. So I will start a new load, keeping the laundry running as I am cleaning the house. This room by far gets the dirtiest quick. This is about 30 minutes of playtime in here from Miss Ayla. She likes to take every single thing out and throw it everywhere. As you can see, she already moved rooms and started taking apart something else that I had put away. So for the sake of that, I clean her room when she goes to bed. So for now, I'm just going to close this up and come back to it at nighttime. And that is how I clean my house about once a day. Now it's time for this mama to sit back and relax and ponder about that mess that I'm gonna have to attempt to clean tonight.